Gary Neville looking for his first goal for Manchester United. What a time to get it! Oh, what an incredible
George dancing away there. He's that happy after the result. Welcome back to the Worldwide Reds. Manchester United beat Newcastle 1-0. Boxing Day, but not without controversy. How are we, boys? Christmas is done. We're heading into the new year. How was Christmas Day for you? I'm sure it was nice with your families. Welcome, George. Welcome, Tom. And, of course, Elliot. How are you, buddy? Good? Yep.
Yeah, good, mate. Good. It's just a bit. Body clock's all over the shop with a couple of days off. A couple of public holidays. Body clock's a bit all over the shop. I'm not sure about you, fellas.
Yeah, very, very good. 3 days worth of Christmas celebration.
Boxing Day football's always the. I know it's. Yeah, sorry, George. I was just saying in regards to Boxing Day is my.
Yeah, go on.
Obviously, you look for Liverpool away when the fixtures come out. You look for the opening day. You look for potentially you could win the title against on the final day. But Boxing Day is always one of the games to me. It's unfortunate that Man United were the only game. I know the rest of the fixtures are today in a few hours' time. Yeah, it's one of the fixtures in the calendar for me, so to always look forward to. And obviously, winning it makes it a little bit better, a little bit easier to deal with. So a good Christmas all in all.
Yeah, I think it's really bizarre that we were the only game on Boxing Day. Normally, it's a whole five different kickoff slots thing. Maybe it being so close to the weekend, there's something that they've thought about, or with New Year's around the corner, they want to. Actually, it's actually more surprising. Like normally, there's a New Year's Eve game or a couple of games on the 29th and 30th, and there's going to be 2-day turnarounds for some teams. But ultimately, we're going to have the few extra days rest before our last game of the calendar year, and we're going into it off the back of a win and our first clean sheet since September.
Mate, what a game it was, wasn't it? A game of two halves, far out. And look, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's you guys. But do you guys go into half-time going, mate, that first half was so good. I wonder what the second half's going to be? Do you go in there doing that? I do all the time, without a doubt.
The pub will take a bet on what minute we're going to concede. We're thinking because of what was my internet no good, is it?
Yeah, I think it's your internet. Your internet's struggling there, Tom. We'll continue. It's all right. It might fix up as we go. Yeah.
It's you go into halftime now and you're like, right, we got to get through the 10 minutes of the second half now, and you're building yourself up for that. That's what I find myself have been doing the last few games.
I just think it takes us so long to wake up after halftime. Like you've seen it in so many games, like against Bournemouth, where we copped 2 in the space of 2 minutes. Against who'd we play last? Before this game.
Bournemouth.
Against Villa, like where, albeit they didn't score straight away after half time, but we conceded a few very big chances. Against Wolves, that's where they got their goal back. Like something's got to change. I don't know what, and it's not on Ruben Amorim. That's not an individual particular skill. That's just match awareness. You got to wake up.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It seems to happen week after week after week. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new, and it's Look, I don't know. Look, we'll start with we'll just add Tom in before we continue here. Here we go. I'll bring the lineup up for you, isn't it? Look, I know we've got heaps of players out and things like that, but again, look, when I saw the lineup of Ugarte starting, I really would have liked Jack Fletcher to start, to be honest with you. But we really haven't got much to come in there. And, with Le Mans, Delot, Martinez, Mount, Cunha, Dorgu, Casemiro, Shaw, Ugarte, Heaven, and Sesko. The bench, Jesus, it was a young bench, which is good, but it had to happen. And I don't know, for you boys, have you changed anything?
I think for me, where we've struggled in midfield is games that Ugarte has started. And there's a reason why this is actually the first match that all season that he started and that we've won. And the reason being is his inefficiency on the ball. Firstly, how long it takes for him to get the ball out of his feet, and then from there, his ability to actually pick a pass. The amount of times he gives the ball away is ridiculous. I will concede he's very effective off the ball, although once he's got a yellow card, that's nullified pretty quickly. But yeah, I know he's a young player, but Jack Fletcher, from the 2 times that we have seen him, seems to be nice and composed on the ball, had a few nice touches, seems to be able to progress the ball forward by carrying the ball. And yeah, it's a pretty good option going forward, especially if we don't make too many moves in January.
I do think that the Agate starting, I guess, topic and I guess winning the game at the end of it probably is not so much down to, I guess, just pure luck. I think it's the different system that it looked like we played from the start of the game. And I think that, those Agate and Casemiro as 2 sit-in sixes seem to be probably what benefited, I guess, him and our result.
Yeah, you know what I was happy with in that lineup is when I looked at it and I saw Martinez's name with the C, with the captain's armband, because when I saw Delot with the captain's armband last week, I was just probably dead against it. Like I think most people were, but I was pretty happy when Martinez had it because he does lead from the front, and he had an absolutely captain's game today. I thought he was so good. He was directing people. He was moving people around into positions. He was leading. And I thought he was working. Casemiro was doing the same thing. So, in that first half, we kept the ball. We were moving the ball really well. It was just like at some stages, I think I was saying in groups, where's this come from? It was just great ball movement, one touches. I don't know if it was Newcastle's game plan was totally wrong against us, but you know what? I thought we played really well in that first half and we moved the ball really well. Tom?
Yeah, no, you're right. I was like, if my internet cuts out, throw me out and I'll just enjoy from the chat.
No, it's perfect now, mate.
You're right in regards to performance. And look, I'm sure we'll get into individuals and we'll talk about Patrick Dorgu. Patrick Dorgu mentioned it just in regards to they just seemed a little bit more confident. And it's a simple game. When people are a little bit more confident, they're going to play a little bit better. And you're right in regards to Newcastle's approach, especially in that second half. Think about how nervy it was. So watch every attack. Okay, this is the time they're going to break through. This is the time they're going to break through. If you're to watch the match now, obviously in hindsight, we know the result. We can breathe a little bit more easy. They didn't create anything. But I thought Lamens had a pretty solid game. But really, did he have a save to make? He made one off the corner in the first half, I think. Other than that, obviously very dominant in the air, but not a real. They weren't like real pepper in the goal. And I just think Newcastle's approach, as soon as they took that big, and I'm not a huge fan of him, I don't think he's as good as people make out, but he's obviously a handful. The moment they took their big German striker off, I was saying, what are they doing? They're going to do nothing for the next half hour than pump balls into the box. Why are they taking him off? And I thought it was a real interesting sort of, I would say it was interesting, it was very basic in regards to Ruben Amorim really sort of started to park the bus. But that tactical shift between the two managers, I thought Eddie Howe got it completely wrong. And at the end of the day, while us watching as fans was very nervous, I think for Man United, the players and Ruben Amorim, it was probably a quite straightforward second half in regards to the job they wanted to do.
Speaking of, I know it's not a Newcastle podcast, but their fans all season have talked about, is this potentially Howe's time where it's turning around for the wrong reasons? Has he taken them as far as he can go? It's not the first time his in-game management has been pretty poor and not adapting to the scenario that what they've needed at hand. And luckily for United, we were on the receiving end of that and benefited with all 3 points. Like apart from Anthony Gordon's half chance, I don't really remember, and the penalty shout, which I'm sure we'll talk about a bit later, I don't really remember feeling threatened, aside from the nerves of being a United fan and knowing that we're eventually going to self-destruct, which luckily today we didn't. But yeah, about Eddie Howe, like, does he go before Ruben Amorim?
I personally don't think Ruben's going anywhere, to be honest with you. But Eddie Howe, I did see something about that. Should he cop the same treatment as Ruben Amorim? 100%. Like he should be getting hammered. But Ruben Amorim just gets punished all the time.
In the past, No, you're 100% right. I think it would have been Eric Ten Hag's first season, the League Cup final. Since then, I've developed this irrational hatred for Newcastle. I don't know why. Some of the fans just rubbed me up the wrong way, and I've really sort of stuck on Newcastle ever since that League Cup final where we beat them. And since then, you see their reactions, and you look at the investment from the Saudi government into their club, and they're the richest club in the world. And Newcastle are a big club. They're a big Premier League club. I know they've been relegated, but I do class them as a big club. They don't get any scrutiny. But they've spent a lot of money and a lot of investment, and no one talks about them. But I think the critical nature of all the reporting around Manchester United, we've just moved 6 points clear of Newcastle. Where's their talking about sort of qualifying for top 4 Champions League football need for a trophy?
They're 11th in the league if anyone cares.
I just want a little bit more. Well, that's it. No one does care, but I think we should. I think the media should give them a little bit of attention.
Yeah, I mean their record in Europe's not too bad, and they've just gone through again to another semi-final of a cup. So I think Eddie Howe is getting some results right, which is probably giving him a little bit of leeway in the league. But time will tell at the end of the season whether I think they're put up with that moving forward. Because even though they've got a decent European record and their cup record's pretty good, their owners want to see them top 4, top 2, probably challenging for a trophy with all that money they're spending. But I think he's just hanging in there because he's getting some other results.
What I've seen from their fans that's really pissed them off is that Sunderland probably spent 25% of the money that they've spent, and they've managed to put together a whole team that's put in a sustained, I wouldn't call it, well, it's obviously not a title bid, but that was second in the league for however long, but a sustained bid for European spots, and fair play to them. I had them going down at the start of the year.
You had Newcastle.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
And that's what the talk amongst Newcastle fans, seeing their biggest rivals spend a quarter of the money and get a whole team for it. Yeah.
I've got a comment here from Yoni. Eddie Howe is English and gets leniency. Some things happen with Eric Ten Hag when we won, and yet Eric Ten Hag was copying it from media, but not Eddie. Even when we did better in the league than them. Yeah, I was going to mention that myself. Yeah, it doesn't matter what a United manager does, man. They can win things. They'll still be punished no matter what. The English media is an absolute piss take against us. So, yeah. And then I've got a little one from Dino. He's got, didn't United fans want Eddie Howe? I don't mind him as a manager, but I can see what Ruben's doing. And that's what's getting me more excited. So, and I think with Ruben, mate, he's got a massive set of nuts on him. I tell you what he did today. I tell you, unless he was just trying to save players for midweek, but to bring Malaysia on at the back end of the game and take who did he take off? Luke Shaw and Martinez. Mate, I nearly walked through the cave door. I'll tell you, when I saw that, I was like, are you trying to throw the game away or what, man? Because to be honest with you, I don't think it needed to be made. I don't know about you boys.
I didn't think so, especially someone who's clearly not in.
Well, sorry, George, I didn't want to make a sub to the defensive line that late in the game, but it was the Casemiro sub that threw me. No, Casemiro was also fair.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tom.
Yeah, that Casemiro one, Jesus, and he wasn't happy, was he?
No.
He was blowing up. Who me? Just here we go. But to his credit, he walked. He shook both managers' hands, and he and the sub's hand, and he just got back on the bench. I didn't see any afters, but yeah, you know what? It's just like it was a crazy time that back end of that second half, or basically the whole second half. But anyway, let's talk on that first half because that was positive. The first half was brilliant. The way that the energy, the directness, the clear attacking options that we had. I thought, what's his name? Was that first half? No, it must have been second half. Sesko's second half. Was that Sesk in the second half? The one where he
started the second half. Start of the second half, yeah.
Yeah, so we did have our chances. We definitely had our chances. We moved the ball well. There was confidence through the team. There was a little bit of ticky-tack football. It was good to watch.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of our shape and I guess a bit of what seemed to be a bit of a more fluid, I guess, shape going forward and then in defensive as well, where we sort of did seem to defend as a back four, but maybe attacked as wing back, with two wing backs. I think that was quite positive. And I think like real credit to the players today. You've got two of our big players away at AFCON. You've got, their captain talisman's just been injured, and he's out for 4 weeks. And all the media saying, "Well, what are you guys going to do now?" And just a real credit to the players today who went out and got a result against, a Newcastle team who's always hard to break down. I think that was it was a massive win. And I think, that first half performance really sort of set the tone for the game.
And I think the way that we set up today in terms of our shape with the back four as opposed to the back 3 or 5, whatever you want to call it, I think right now is better suited to the players that we have. I know Ruben Amorim has a system that he does want to play, but I think if you're speaking of adapting to the players that we have, the key thing for a 3 or 5 in the back to work is wing backs that are comfortable being the sole provider of width and are attacking minded and effectively produce balls into the box. Neither of our wing backs or the players that have been playing at wing back can do that, especially when Ahmad's not there. So I think having that back four where fullbacks can overlap a winger really improved the productivity in our wide areas, and it made our fullbacks feel a lot more comfortable getting forward, knowing that they could overlap and have a bit more space. And then also defensively, where they're not the sole provider of the width and not the sole responsibility of locking down that side. I think we look better defensively with that as well.
Definitely, man. Look, I really enjoyed the energy from Dorgu today. I tell you, I know, George, we've had our say on him, and I'm dying to see what you have to say about Dorgu today. But mate, his energy today, he was always wanted to be on the ball. He was always dropping back. He was always getting forward. He was our outlet at times. Even when Sesko came on, like Sesko we'll get a touch on him soon, but I want to give Dorgu a rap, man. Far out. He's copped a shit ton this season. And today, without his energy and without him, he was actually directing players as well on his side and there was one stage just before he hit the goal. I think it was Mason Mount. I swear to you, I thought they were going to collide, and Mason Mount pulled out. So it was a well struck goal. He didn't hit through the ball. He just used the pace of the ball and just directed it straight in the net. But I felt for him a bit today because he never got man of the match, but he was definitely my man of the match. I thought he helped us a lot.
Yeah, he was very good, and unfortunately Tom's dropped down now because he could have a bit more of a comment on this. But when I did a podcast with him on his show, he was talking when Dorgu first signed, and he was talking about how when he was at Lecce, most of his YouTube scouting and highlight reels he saw came actually playing with him as a right winger for Lecce. So maybe is that a preferred position that we don't know about, but we've just signed him to put a square peg in a round hole as a left wing back. That's something that who knows that in recent weeks or weeks to come we might find out. But I know I've had my bit to say about Dorgu, in my opinion, rightfully so. But you've also got to give credit where it's due. It's a brilliant volley, arguably goal of the month of the league. I haven't seen anything better in the league this month.
Oh, definitely, man. It's going to be up there. He'll get goal of the month for that. It was an absolute cracker. And you know what? With those goals too, a lot of players turn their hips a lot. The way he was tracking across, his hips just seemed to be in the same place. And as he's pivoted, the way he's just struck it. Because I tell you what, if it was full swing, they would have been sailing at the back and in the back there. And mate,
not to be too critical or take anything away from the goal. Should Ramsdale have done better getting a whole hand to it? Because I really don't rate Ramsdale as a goalkeeper.
Oh, mate, don't even. I'll tell you something on that, right? So I'm listening to half time, and the commentator, what's his name? The ex-keeper,
Shay Given.
Shay Given. Mate, have a good look at yourself. You're an absolute toss bag. He was saying Cunha's offside. He was interfering, everything like that. Mate, you were fucking kidding yourself. If they had paused it on the 6-yard box, Cunha was walking out with the fullback, and the fullback actually played him on side. If you have a look at it on the 6-yard box, there wasn't much in it. But to say he was in line of sight, come on, man. You're an absolute joke. It's not even close. Just
So a professional goalkeeper should be saving that shot. I'm sorry, especially one that's meant to be a top goalkeeper.
yeah, mate. It was a good shot, and there was a lot of pace on it. But you know what? What's his name? I don't know if Lamens saves it either. To be honest with you, because there's a
But I don't think Lamens is a title-winning goalkeeper either. But the way that Lamens isn't made out to be that. Ramsdale is for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Well,
I just think, I think he should have probably saved it, but I just think it was a well taken shot. It was brilliant, mate. I'll tell you what, I was that excited when it went in, and then to our credit, for probably one of the first times when we scored, we didn't start sitting back on it, which was good. So that's another positive that I thought of then. We didn't sit back or anything like that. So it was good that we kept going and kept pushing forward, which is fantastic. So I've got a couple of comments here. What do we got here? What do you got here? I'm from India, Manchester United fan since 2014. I stay up 1:30 to 3:30 in the night to watch every match, and then I look at our bench and it makes my blood boil. Not even one reliable player. Well, you know what? They were reliable today. So, we can criticize the team as much as we want. But you know what? When we've got 19-year-olds on the bench and 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds on the bench, you know what? They give everything for the club and they give everything for the badge. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and criticize an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old if they've got no other choice, if Ruben's got no other choice but to call them up and to get stuck in. And that's what they did today.
Yeah.
And I feel most of the players, when they 18 and 19-year-olds, when they do come in, they do put everything on the line for the badge. So I'm not going to sit here and criticize a kid, that's for sure.
Genuinely speaking, I would have loved to have seen Shea Lacey come on ahead of Xerxes.
And we can't help.
Yeah, Shea Lacey,
I think the manager picked.
What's going on today here, boys, with the internet?
Oh, just the post Christmas. It's in meltdown.
Go, George. Go, mate. Go.
But yeah, I was just saying, I think look, obviously, you might have your bit to say on Xerxes' performance a bit later, Adam, but I would have loved to have seen Shea Lacey coming ahead of him. I can't say he pulled up any trees against Villa, but it's an 18-year-old making his debut. And what gives United fans more pleasure than anything, even in games that we lose, is a debut. Obviously, it was disappointing to lose to Villa, but the fact that we got to see Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey make their debuts, I guess that papered over the cracks with the loss. That warmed our hearts. It was beautiful to see players coming through the academy, especially ones with parental connections to United. And I would have liked to have seen that going as well, especially seeing Jack Fletcher get that chance a bit earlier.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like Lacey, man. I totally agree with you. I would have loved to have seen him come on. I got Dino here. He's complimenting that. He goes, least the two United, only a small different players need a chance to fit in and adapt. Fletcher, to United, only a small different players need a chance to fit in and adapt. Just ask Evra and Vidic. Yeah. Look, Lecce was unreal, man, today, man. Far out. He was so good. I have to compliment everyone. Look, you can't just sit there and keep bagging players. Like today, our team was so young, man, by the end of that game. Like, who would have thought our backline would be Yoro, Heaven, Malacia, and
Fredrickson.
Fredrickson. Like, how does that even come together, that back line? Like, so you can't sit there and just keep pumping at these kids. Let them go, mate. They've got to learn somehow. No better than putting them in front of probably one of the most pressurised games they've ever been into. Especially Fredrickson. He copped it hard last time he played.
I've been a big fan of Aiden Heaven as well, and the way that he started the last 3 games and looked quite composed and very imposing on the opposition. I think we found a gem from Arsenal there, so thankfully they've let him go.
Yeah, well, mate, you know what? I enjoyed Heaven. I enjoy watching him play. And I think as he gets older, he's going to get a bit more. I'd like to see him a bit more vocal, to be honest with you, directing plays. He's probably still a little bit nervous. But at the back end of that game, though, he was, as much as Le Mans came out and he was catching the ball, which was absolutely as good as a goal when he came and claimed the ball a couple of times at the back end of that game. Yeah, Aiden Heaven was there. He was going there, heading the ball away. He was making sure he'd win every challenge. And it was great to watch there. Mate, we were so under the pump in that second half. It was mental. And I think you were saying just before, George, we came on, you were saying they probably never had many chances as it was. But you know what? There was one stage there where Le Mans came out to get the ball and he actually dropped it. And I thought, oh, we're gone.
Yeah, on another day, that's a time when we're looking, especially if that was an unearned goals, the way he, let's use Grimsby as an example, the way he reacted there and threw the ball in on 2 occasions. And we're going to draw that. That's the fine margins between being a top-level goalkeeper and just your average professional goalkeeper, just those mistakes being punished. But luckily for Le Mans on this occasion, that mistake wasn't punished. And he gets his second well-deserved clean sheet in a United shirt, which I'm very happy for him for.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I think
Malaysia's first appearance since January. Martinez' first start since Feb. Fredrickson's first start since Grimsby. Yeah, poor bugger. Bloody hell.
I think
forget those days.
I think the players should be taking a lot of confidence away from the result today. And hopefully then taking that into the Wolves game during the week because of with the personnel that we've had out, injured or unavailable, and then we've gone out and beaten sort of Newcastle 1-0 at home. A lot of confidence can be taken away from that win, and I think we had a big debate after the Bournemouth game around the types of games as United fans that you'd prefer to see. I'd take that 1-0 win over Newcastle every day of the week over the exciting 4 draw that Yoni said he'd prefer.
Oh, yeah. Great point, Elliot. Great point. Yeah.
So I just have to chuck that in there, Yoni.
Far out. The question that always comes up, especially with these commentators that keep talking about our identity and everything like that. You know what? It's hard to have an identity in that second half, isn't it? In the first half, you can see it clearly that that the way we move the ball and the way we're trying to get down the lines and our midfield is receiving them playing on. The identity you can see in the first half, but then again, and then the second half, you just see it thrown out the window. Do you think Amorim at halftime's telling the players, let's just sit back and see if we can hold this one out at 1-0?
I don't think so. I just think it's just lack of intensity from our part, or from our players, and we can talk about the standards of the club, what they are and what they should be, but the reality is sometimes complacency sets in when you're up, and even when we have been up, that Villa game when it was still level, we were pretty pathetic that first 5 minutes, and we were lucky not to concede earlier than what we did. I just think it's a mentality thing, and when you have, for example, leaders not on the pitch there as well. Like for example, we didn't have Bruno there today. Casemiro was pulled off. Mason Mount wasn't there, who's been leading our press from the front. Someone needs to stand up and make sure that the standards are set, that you start the second half the way you finish the first.
Yeah, look, the other one that's coming to mind, I know we were touching on Heaven just a second ago, but when the seniors players start coming back, it's probably a good thing because the senior players will come back in, but you don't want to see Aiden Heaven drop off, do you? So the FA Cup's coming up. So I really hope, instead of playing a senior player in the FA Cup, I hope that Aiden Heavens probably starts for us. Knowing Ruben Amorim, he probably won't throw our senior centre halves in straight away. He'll probably bring them on partway through the game, I would say, and maybe start Heaven. But moving forward, I don't think he's going to start Heaven.
And I think that's just generally the case, especially when you have defenders of the quality of Lenny Yoro and Lisandro Martinez and Matthias de Ligt, who, when he comes, don't forget, he was up there with maybe not as good as Gabriel Saliba, but the next best centre back behind them in the league until his injury. So they're 3 to 4 very good quality centre backs you have coming in, and that's not a knock on Aiden Heaven to say that he can't start, but especially if we start reverting back to a back three and Ruben Amorim making the amount of defensive substitutions he does make, I don't think that means the end for Aiden Heaven.
Don't forget, we signed Aiden Heaven cost us £1 million last year. Like, what a shrewd bit of business that's turned out to be. Yeah, and I think he did deserve, even though Dorgu was scored the goal and looked, lively, and I think probably more of a notable improvement because we've seen his previous performances be a bit dismal at times. But I think Aiden Heaven has been relatively consistent since he's come to the team. I think today's game performance was just that little bit higher than what he's sort of performed since coming in with the injuries and stuff like that. And you could see him being a mature lad and just maturing with the game, and probably a future England centre back maybe as well. If he can get himself in, because he's the one who's he'll be a player who'll take over from Martinez when because he's getting older, but he's not going to be with us, for much more than maybe a couple of years. And you want, your future players sort of, learning off them now so that you've got a like-for-like replacement ready to go. I think Aiden Heaven is certainly one of those people. I think it was Tom actually brought it up, probably towards the start of the season, maybe 6 or 7 games in, that, we should have been probably playing Aiden Heaven a little bit more earlier in the season. We would have liked to have seen him play a bit earlier than when he was introduced. So, yeah, it's good piece of business, I think, when we brought him in, and just looking like he's just going to keep improving.
Yeah, I've got Dino here. He said Ruben did say he has trained outstanding this season and deserves this. The way I saw it, Harry and de Ligt have to earn their spot back if they are ever fit again.
Really?
It'd be very, very interesting to see what he does. I'll tell you. Yeah,
de Ligt surely goes straight back into the team. Surely, I mean, Maguire. Yeah, I understand that, but de Ligt surely, when he's fit, he goes straight back into the team, because he until he got injured, he was a sure,
good man,
consistent
100%.
block at the back. So, whereas Maguire, I can see, and needs to earn a spot, but I certainly think that de Ligt would come straight back into the team.
I got book 606. Heaven probably leapfrogs Yoro in the pecking order at the moment.
Probably.
Yeah, but do you play? Definitely. I think Yoro, mate, he's still getting on the wrong side of his player every single time. I think today it was more noticeable because I think he was actually overthinking defensively down that right-hand side. He was overthinking it, and he didn't want to he's probably trying not to show him inside, but he was showing him inside because Yoro was probably playing the line a lot more. And it was just far out. It was so irritating at times. And and as Dino said, mate, he was just getting ripped every single time, slipping over. De Ligt was doing the same thing. De Ligt was showing the line. I don't know what was going on over that right-hand side. It just seems to be the opposite. 1 minute we've got a problem on the left-hand side. Next minute we've got problems on the right-hand side. It's like, mate, just work in sync with each other, boys. For God's sakes, man.
Yeah, he looks short confident. He looks short a bit of confidence, doesn't he, Yoro? But I think we have seen glimpses of the type of player that he can be, and what we'd like. It's just that consistency and that confidence piece as well. Whereas, he's still only a young lad, didn't he? Really big price tag. Was he 20 now? But he certainly lacked some confidence for us, sort of middle of the season, isn't he? So. I'd like hopefully he can sort of pick that up and come back come back. And I think it's hard for a young player to get confidence, I think, when you've got other young players around you doing so well. You know, Yoro's probably seen Aiden Heaven playing well, good performances and stuff like that. I think, you know, you need some older players like Delit, like Martinez, now that he's come back into the team, that can really sort of push and urge, you know, Yoro, just to help him build his own confidence a bit as well. So hopefully he can turn that around.
I've got a comment here from Aiden Barker. He goes, since the rat Bruno publicly blamed Yoro, then gets dropped by Amorim, his confidence has been shattered. Get these Portuguese mafia out. Is that
Adrian?
Emad? Yeah, I know. Is it Emad's mate?
Is it?
Look, I'm liking that Bruno's on the bench at the moment, to be honest with you. It's changed everything around for our team. And, you know, it's given other players a chance to shine, to be honest with you. I do think Bruno probably plays a lot more than he should. So
I'll ask you fellas a question. I'll ask you fellas a question. Do you think that we got a clean sheet today because Bruno didn't play?
No, I disagree. I think we got a clean sheet because I think Newcastle were so poor in front of goals and just didn't create anything, and that's why we kept a clean sheet. I don't think it had anything to do with Bruno not being there.
I think Bruno's been a lot more disciplined than. I think Bruno's been a lot more disciplined than our previous years.
Yeah, I saw a lot less space for runners coming through the middle today than probably what I have previous games. I'm not sure if you fellas agree or disagree, but you know, I think probably with two more defensive-minded central midfielders with Ugarte and Casemiro, whereas, you know, Bruno floats. He's a bit more of a free roamer and stuff like that. I did find there was less space for their centre midfield to really, you know, run through and attack that box or be a late runner into the box and stuff like that. And, you know, I think Yoni mentioned on our group chat today, or Jordan, that probably Newcastle on their day, that their three centre midfielders, I mean, Yollington didn't start today, but that three in the middle that they've got, arguably probably in the top two or three in the league.
Not this year, they're not.
Yeah, but they've got that. You know, they've got those performances in them and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly.
But if you're looking at man for man, like for me, Jolinton and Ugarte are the same player in different skin colours and nationalities. Great for dogged work off the ball, but they are so terrible on the ball.
I think Jolinton's better than Ugarte, in my opinion, but
he's definitely more of a goal threat. But in terms of the job that they're meant to do on the pitch, I don't really see too much difference.
Yeah. And then you got Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali. You know, they're two quality players in my opinion.
I rate Bruno G.
Much again today.
Yeah, even Tonali, absolute dogged defender off the ball. Tonali is what Casemiro was when he was starting his career, like when he was on loan at Porto and when he first broke through the Real Madrid team. But he's not quite that. Tonali's in his prime now, but he's not nowhere near the finished article that Casemiro was in his prime.
Yeah.
I've got a comment from my mate Mark. He said, I think the formation change has helped in defence. Definitely. 4 at the back, mate. Today, 4 at the back was unreal. I just think, and anyone that thinks he didn't do it last week, he did. The 4 at the back settles us down a lot more. I just think it keeps us a lot more compact at the back as well. And if one player has to go, everyone shifts. That part of the game when I always talk about zonal marking and stuff like that, to me, it only works when you've got 4 to 5 at the back where everyone can shift left and right. And I thought that worked really well today. I mean, admittedly, there was a couple of times there in the back end of the game where Newcastle had very good chances to score and they scored them over the bar and everything like that. But when we had, I think it was we had 7 minutes injury time. 7 minutes injury time, and I'm calling for our defence. And I think at one stage, Ruben Amorim was calling our defence to get higher, step up, step up, step up. I think it's just, and it's not immaturity. It's just more when it comes to a back end of the game. Nerves start kicking in. You can see you're 1-0. Teams are pressing a lot more. So you feel you need to drop a little bit more to, I don't know, protect the goals. And, a bit more composure there sees us higher up the pitch. Even at one stage on the goal kick, we were sitting so deep on the goal kick. It was bad. I'm going to say it was bad. It's defensively, we're too deep, especially on a goal kick. Like goal kick, we should be up near halfway, man. Not 20 meters inside our own half. So maybe during the week, they'll look at that again and they'll work on that again. So these little tweaks that we're making with these new formations or with these formations going forward, to me, going into next year, and I was having this conversation with Tony and Pete Hayes, I think next year it's going to be a real big difference for us to push for that top 4. I think we're going to win a lot more games next year with these little tweaks happening.
Yeah, for sure. And
do you think that he's made that? Do you think he's made that formation change due to the lack of personnel that we've had in the team, or do you think that he has made that formation change because it's been building and something that he's been working towards, regardless of the players available?
Hey, Dino, how you doing?
Good. How you guys?
Welcome, Dean.
Good
Dean's
man.
been doing a tough up his place. He had a cyclone go through the place this week, so he's been cleaning up the school. He cleans up the big school where he's at.
And my internet works better than all of yours.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of water in his house, so he's been busy over the last few days, the poor bugger. So he's had a pretty miserable Christmas, but he's always positive. So, Elliot, run us through that question again, and Dino, you can answer it.
Look, I think the formation change that was obvious today is that has the manager sort of put that in place because of the lack of personnel that we've got in the squad at the moment due to the injuries and players unavailable, or is it something that he's been building and working towards regardless?
I think he's been working on it for a long time. Like he even said in preseason training and that they're working on other options and stuff like that. And I think he always knew that he was going to have the AFCON players not here, and it was leading to that. And then obviously Bruno being injured, it's just come to how he sees fit. Like, it's there's not many options there, so he sort of had to change it around, and that's why Ramsdale went down that first half. He didn't have a hammy wrong or nothing like that. Eddie Howe was trying to get messages out because they had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
you're right.
Look, it's quite funny. That was funny.
Every keeper's doing it now.
Yeah, it's amazing how the players that run the
man.
least on the pitch are the ones that go down. Isn't that amazing?
Mate, I see it in the Georgia. I see it in the NPL all the time, and I see it from the bench because of Aaron. I see their manager call when it's a tight game. They tell him to go down all the time. So it's not just in the Premier League; it's definitely happening in all sorts of football these days. So yeah, they were in trouble that first half. But again, we never took our chances, did we? So far out. It's just like I'm looking forward to where we finish up. We're coming towards January now. So do you think we getting anyone in January? We always get one, don't we?
Not this time. I don't think we do.
You don't think we get anyone?
Because the way that Amorim will look about once we get Ahmad and Mazraoui and Mbuimo back, they're going to feel like new signings, and that's going to be the logic for the board not to spend anything, because we did spend quite a bit in the summer.
Do we let anyone go in that case then if we don't buy anyone?
Well, the talk is Cobby going on loan, but if he's injured, that's not going to happen.
I'll throw Xerxes in the river and just keep playing Jack Fletcher instead of him.
I agree.
I agree totally, Dino. I wanted him to start today, mate. 100%, man.
I think it's tough when obviously young kid making your debut at Old Trafford would be very difficult. So, I think people forget Ugarte actually has a bit of quality in him. Like internationally, he's outstanding for Uruguay. Like he's just that junkyard dog, and he cleans up, he loses the ball, he cleans up, he tackles, he fouls, he breaks up the play, and obviously he's not the player that we want him to be right at this point, but he has it in him. Like I've seen him play it.
The thing with Ugarte is, I noticed it today. Mate, he never stopped today. He didn't stop. I just think mentally he rushes into things a lot. He gave like 2, 3, 4, 5 fouls today, and that's probably, when you got Casemiro and him together there, and you got two players that consistently want to give fouls away. And I think Casemiro probably does it a little less than Ugarte. But he needs to be a lot more disciplined, I think, in that role. I think today at times, and I will say this, I thought the fucking refereeing was absolutely shit house today. It was shocking. I think at one stage it was like 7 fouls to 1. Like, give me a break, man.
He's only from Manchester. Leave him alone.
Oh, no, man. Seriously, it was absolute bullshit. Like, we should be getting something. And the foul count was up there at some stage. I know Dorgu goes down easy, but there was times that he should have had a foul in that first half. It's just pissed off.
Just back to Ugarte, so he was at Sporting, went to PSG, plays for Uruguay. International football is so slow compared to the EPL and all those other, like in Italy and places like that. I think Ugarte would be a great signing for a place like that. I think United just did one of their panic buys, and got him in because he was from PSG and they sort of worked out structure with them, how to pay for it and stuff like that. But, he doesn't have the pace for the Premier League, and that's what I say about Kobe as well. So.
I just don't think he has the tactical discipline for the Premier League either, where everything is so micromanaged. His lack of discipline gets found out.
Yeah, it's fast. It's just...
Yeah, but in saying that, though, I'll go back to again. It worked okay with playing those two, sit-in sixes with Casemiro and Ugarte today. That worked. That worked. With Mount sort of sitting a bit higher. I thought that worked today. But I think if Ugarte is going to get found out every day of the week if he's got Bruno
100%.
playing next to him, is a bit more free roaming. But whereas you've got two like-minded players in Ugarte and Casemiro who can work off each other in a sort of a similar, in ways, they're just going to complement
not
each
the
other.
future. Ugate's not the future.
No.
He's the present.
No.
That's all we have. So
that's right.
And that's down to bad management by people that brought him in, the club and stuff like that. Talked about Aiden Heaven only costing $1 million, but man, how much have we wasted over the last 10 years? Like the whole squad in itself, we talk about the young players being all on the bench. That's all because of bad management. And when you don't have European football, you can't have a big squad. So then you need these kids to play.
You know what, too? We forget Ruben Amorim's a young manager as well. Like we do. He's learning on the job. And look, I know he cops a shit ton of criticism. And a lot of it's probably... Actually, I'm not going to even say a lot of it's justified because it's fucking not.
I love him.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. I'm really nervous about his subs, to be honest with you, like today. But again, he's probably looking ahead, and we want a manager to take risk. That's what I want. I want a manager to take risk.
Well, you put it this way: Casemiro's not playing 90 minutes today, then 90 minutes on Wednesday.
That's right, and it's the same with Martinez. Is and Luke Shaw,
Mason Mount. Like these players aren't fit. Like the minutes.
And to everyone that says Amorim out, go tell me who's someone better that can come in right now and do a better job. Go tell me.
Eddie Howe. But like you look at Aiden Heaven's minutes, right? You look at Euro's minutes and that. They're not playing 90 minutes every game. Like, even Dorgu until today hasn't played a full game. Like, and minutes count. Like, you can't just expect these people to sit on the bench like Ugarte the last 10 games and come out and be brilliant. Like, he played 90 minutes today after playing hardly ever.
The one that got me was Malaysia. That's the one that got me. But you know what?
I think Shaw was stuffed, mate. That's why. And who
Yeah.
actually put there?
Mm,
Yeah,
And the
Shaw's not
players
played.
obviously have confidence
Shaw's
in
not
him.
played left back all season.
But don't forget the players in the squad invited Malacia back in. So they obviously believe in there's actually that connection with them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a bar of him. So, who knows? Give him a few more minutes and you might see a different player. Who knows?
You know what, Dino? When he first came to us, I actually enjoyed him. It's probably that I haven't seen him play in a while, or none of us have seen him in a while. We're all
He hasn't
thinking
played.
he hasn't
even at
played. And we're all
PSV.
thinking, Jesus
PSV he didn't
Christ.
play.
Yeah, that's it. So you know what? Even him coming on, he would have been a nervous wreck. He wouldn't have wanted to stuff up and everything like that. So,
And
you
he
know
lost
what?
his best mate Rashford as well in the squad. So, he's stuck around and he's trained well and he's obviously earned his spot on the bench. So, fair play to him.
I got a comment here from Stuart Marshall. I can't stand Malaysia. He's got that face you want to just knock the shit out of. Jesus, that's harsh.
Throwing stones in glass houses there, I think.
Yeah. If Dorgu is going to be right wing when Mbumo is away, Malaysia might be needed at times to replace Shaw on the left.
Yeah. Fine.
Go, Elliot. Go.
I said fine. I think there's I think yourself and Dino have already sort of made some points there. You never know what happens with Luke Shaw as well. I think he's been playing centre back, that left-sided centre back position all season, and then he's gone and played in a left back role, which is probably a little bit more demanding on his body. And he's up and down, probably attacking and defending more. You never know. We all know what Luke Shaw's like.
Yeah, exactly. How many points are we getting in the next 3 games?
What are our next 3 games? What are they?
Leeds, Burnley, and Wolves.
In that order. Reverse order.
Yeah.
7.
Elliot, be positive. 9.
I'll before I have to head off, I'm going to say the massive positivity. I reckon we're going 9 out of 9 the next 3 games.
Yeah, good work. I like it.
It'll be a great game against Leeds, won't it?
Thank you very much, boys. But I'm saying 9 before I head off. 9 out of
9. Good man.
See you, boys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
See you, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on, George. Thanks for coming on. Cheers, mate. The one I want to touch.
Leeds have just been playing really well, though. They've just found some form in the last 2 or 3 games, and that's the banana skin out of those 3 games.
Yeah, but it's different against us, Elliot. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
To be fair, though, Leeds are pretty rapid in what they do, and Calvert-Lewin's actually probably in his best form he's ever been in. So I see where you're coming from, but I just think if we want to be serious, and I know we've been up and down, but we need the 9 points because then we've got Arsenal and City in the league after that. So
I did see some.
Arsenal are on their way down. I think
they finished third. Arsenal.
I think Brighton beaten today as well.
Wolves are going to beat Liverpool today. You watch, first win of the season.
Oh, I do know. That'd be fantastic. Man United Supporters Club and Worldwide Reds patch there. Love it, Dino. Hey, I wanted to. I don't know if you boys have seen it, but some people have been given. Not too harsh, but they're talking about Jack Fletcher running all over the place. I don't want to hear anyone knocking Jack Fletcher, especially in that second half. Mate, that kid was running his guts out. And you know the thing about it too? He didn't have a choice to settle, did he? You can't, in a game like that, it's so erratic. The poor kid, all he can do is get in behind players, try and defend it out, work with the centre halves and everything like that. I thought he was outstanding again. So for mine, I would love to see Jack start, but Ugarte is going to get the start in the next game with Casemiro again. But you know what? Credit to the kid. He was bloody fantastic. To all the kids, they were fantastic. And this is, people often, probably hassle me a little bit about the youth all the time. But I'm a firm believer in the youth at Manchester United, especially in our 21s and 18s. With that many good players, break them in. For God's sakes, man, just break them in. And I understand we haven't got many games to play, but you know what? With all these injuries and AFCON and everything, mate, I'm loving seeing these kids play. And you know they're going to give everything for the badge as well.
I hope Ruben said to him, run around with like a headless chook. Like, get involved in the game, do your job and stuff like that. But next game, Adam, he'll be in for Mason Mount because I don't see Mason Mount starting next game.
No. Yeah, you're right. But did they say what was wrong with him?
Yeah, but to go off at half time like that and then, back up 3 days later, I don't see it happening. Especially with his record. Like, it's like Shaw. I don't expect Shaw to start next game either.
Oh, I just went quiet then. Jesus. Anyway, we'll see what comes up in the coming days. Anyway, so I think we've touched on everything. For mine, I'm going to give I might put the ladder up. Let's put the ladder up before we close this. So United's in at 5th, which is good. Everyone's got to play, obviously. What have we got? Liverpool. We're hoping Liverpool lose, which will keep them in same spot. But we could drop back down to 8th, couldn't we? If
Chelsea got Villa, haven't they? Haven't Chelsea got Villa?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it'll be very interesting overnight. So keep your eye on those results. So,
mate, all we can do is keep winning. And
that's it. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
But Forest will beat City today.
I'm loving all the positivity since Christmas. It's fantastic.
Mate, get on the bandwagon, mate. It's like the first things I read today is, I can't believe Ruben got his subs wrong. Like, we just won a tough game, literally defended for the whole game, and people's first thing is, oh, Ruben got his subs wrong. Like, come on.
I don't think you got. To be honest, Dino, I didn't say.
No, I'm not saying yeah.
I was just I know, but I think what happens there when people say that, I think they actually mean they were nervous when he made those subs. But you know what? I did see some of the channels they're coming out saying, yeah, look, I don't know what he was thinking, everything like that. And,
who else is he getting a sub though? Like
that's it.
Really?
Like, you can't do anything about it, man. Far out.
But if he doesn't sub anyone, we all complain that he doesn't make subs. Then you make subs. Like, him and his medical team know what the players are going through. As in, mate, football is all run by stats and all this shit these days. Like, he knows what they're like. So, if players are on the red, he's going to bring them off, and he's not afraid to do that. You imagine if he didn't throw any kids on today.
Oh, yeah. Mate, it was, look, all in all, it was a fantastic win. It kept me on the edge of my seat, definitely for the 90 minutes or 97 minutes.
And your sausage.
And my sausage, yeah. So, yeah, the English breakfast done by AI. Fantastic. Just to shit stir a few people. But, yeah, all in all, fantastic win. I loved every minute of it. It kept me on the edge of my seat. If we go into the next game and start this game against Wolves and we start like that, mate, I'll be happy. And we take away 3 points from Wolves. I'll be disappointed if we don't take away 3 points from Wolves, let me tell you. So, but in saying that, it's a good way to go into that game, isn't it, really? Full of confidence.
Especially at home.
My man of the match was Dorgu, even though Aiden Heaven had an outstanding game. I don't know about you guys, but I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah. I think it'd be good just to roll into this Wolves game now and just not even continue this not even continue a bit of momentum, but try and build some other momentum on performances and clean sheets and stuff like that. I think that clean sheet was a big positive from today with the personnel out at the back that we had, and we still got a clean sheet. That's good, and I think we should be going in and beating Wolves like 3-0 at home. Like, to be honest, we should be conceding against them at home.
Mate, I honestly think we'll struggle against Wolves in the first half and we'll get a 1 and 2-0 win. Like, that's just the season we're having, mate. Like, honestly, like, I'm being
serious. That's
how I think. And today, some of the men's like catching, that made me like feel like Onana was back. Like, he fumbled and stuff. Because we won, we're not talking about it.
That one. He fumbled
No,
that
there was
one.
more than one. There was more than
No,
one.
there wasn't. He fumbled
Yeah.
one. It was out on the left-hand side as he came out in the second half. Mate, when he came and took that ball high, mate, I
Yeah.
celebrated it like a goal. And
mate,
we
there
haven't
was a
had a
corner.
keeper do that for a long
But
time.
there was a corner where he should have just punched out and he flapped and it went straight to the Newcastle guy and kicked it straight into the keeper. Like he should be controlling that box. That's what I expect anyway from our keeper.
I agree, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
mate, our keeper should be always controlling their box. But you know what? I thought he had a great game. I thought everyone was solid. Newcastle, good to see him lose another 3 points. Fantastic for United. Good to see all our young players in there. It's making my day, that's for sure. I've had a fantastic day today. So bring on, when are we playing? Wednesday, is it?
Yeah.
Bring on Wednesday, in a
Wednesday
hurry.
morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
7:15 your time.
7:15. Are we doing a live, Elliot, or will you'll be up?
I'll be up, but I'll be working from home.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm still running the office at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Chrissy period. So
You can have
We'll
a live
still-
show by yourself, Adam.
I might do that on TikTok, maybe. All right, boys. Thank you again for coming in. Exciting times. To everyone that's around, we've had a lot of people on YouTube today, which is fantastic. Everyone's starting to realize to come over to YouTube. I think we've just clicked over 280 subs, which is fantastic. It's a new record for us.
Do we get
Thank
paid soon?
you. Oh yeah. Yeah, we probably need another 20,000. But yeah,
I'm still
if we
waiting.
keep building,
I'm still waiting on my worldwide. Where's Red's jersey?
it's hitting here, Elliot.
Hopefully
I got
when
it
I
here.
see you next month, mate.
Yeah, no, it's here.
Bring it
Look,
up next
I got
month when I see
I
you.
got it sitting right
I
next
forgot
to
he's coming up. Jeez, what date is it?
me. I'm coming up
date?
either the 9th or 10th of Jan. I got your shirt right here, Elliot. It's sitting right next to me, so I don't
Lovely.
forget it. So
Pack
thank
it
you,
in your
boys.
suitcase.
If you're still in the chat on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button because I'm sick of hitting it myself. So if somebody else can hit it, that'd be great.
Didn't Yoni click like?
I don't know. We just let Yoni runs his own race. So, all right, boys. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy your break. I know I'll hassle you before Wednesday so we can have another chat because I start getting itchy. I need to chat all the time. And I know you boys don't mind it. Dino, love you. Elliot, love you. Thank you, everyone that's in the chat on YouTube, Instagram, Kick, whatever you're on. I'll talk to you later.
OnlyFans.
See you later. Check ya.